Okay, of percentage purity. Now let's discuss it very quickly. Percentage purity, the initial crude sample of copper is prepared industrially. Okay, so initial crude sample. If it is crude sample, so is it pure or impure?
Impure.
Yeah, it is simple. Okay, crude means impure. So an initial crude sample of copper is prepared industrially and then tested for purity. A sample of 10.15 gram of the crude copper is analyzed. So the mass of impure copper, mass of impure, the crude means impure, okay? So the mass of impure copper is 10.15 grams. Is analyzed by various methods and shown to contain 9.95 grams of copper. Okay, so the mass of copper in it, it is the mass of pure copper. Mass of pure copper 9.95 grams. With remaining mass being made up of other metals. Generally, okay, so this is the formula of percentage purity, mass of pure product divided by mass of impure product. Okay, always remember that percentage yield in the formula of percentage yield and percentage purity, in both of these formulas, we will take the mass of products. Okay, it's not about the reactants. We always take the product. For percentage yield is the mass of is the actual yield. Okay, actual product divided by the predicted product. Okay, predicted mass of the product multiplied by 100. So both of them are products. Actual mass and predicted mass, both of them are of products. And in percentage purity also, the pure product and the mass of impure product. Okay, both of them are products. Remember this thing. Therefore, we will substitute the value mass of copper in a sample and mass of impure copper multiplied by 100, and mass of pure copper 9.95, impure copper 10.15 multiplied by 100, and the answer is 98.03%. Okay, and in most of the times, in most of the numericals, the mass of impure sample is given to you, and you have to calculate the mass of pure sample by yourself. Okay, like in the previous question, in the percentage yield one, the actual yield is given to you. Okay, in most of the numericals, actual yield is already given to you, that we did a chemical reaction, and in a chemical reaction, this is the mass we got. Okay, and we have to calculate predicted yield by ourselves by using an equation, ratio, formula of moles, all these things, and take out the predicted mass by ourselves and then substitute it in a formula. Similarly, in this question, like over here, this question is really direct. Both things are given to you. But in some of the questions, like in past paper questions, we know that things are not given directly. Okay, we have to find them out. So most of the time, in most of the questions, impure sample is given to you, impure mass, and you have to take out the mass of pure sample by using equation and the formula of moles. Okay, and we will do this example also, and there is one example like this in a 6.3 worksheet. Okay, then after this there is question on the next page, page 6.7. This question is pretty long. Okay, so if I write the answer of each and every part, so it will take very long time. So I already wrote these answers, okay, in one of my class. So I will just discuss this question with you very quickly. Okay, the answers are already written. The first part is, okay, please leave everything and look at the screen. Copper oxide can be reduced to copper metal by heating it in a stream of hydrogen gas. So we have copper oxide and it can be reduced to copper. So it means copper oxide is giving copper by heating it in a stream of hydrogen gas. This is the equation which I wrote in blue. That equation I made from the statement. Okay, from by reading the statement, you will get it that which two things are reacting and which thing is produced. So copper oxide is reducing to copper by heating it in a stream of hydrogen gas. So it means copper oxide and hydrogen gas is involved in, they are the reactants. Okay, copper is coming out and the other product will be hydrogen and oxygen. So it is water, the other product. Okay, so copper and water we will get. And then we have to check that is this equation balanced. So yeah, this is balanced. Okay, otherwise we have to balance the equation. Okay, after it, dry copper oxide was placed in a test tube which had previously been weighed empty. So the test tube was weighed empty. before the tube was reweighed containing the copper oxide and then set up in the diagram. So first we weighed the empty test tube and then we put copper oxide in it, we weighed it again. Okay, and after the reaction also, when it is reduced to only copper, then we reweighed it. Okay, so we weighed it 3 times. Uh, did you study that experiment of magnesium oxide in a crucible?
Yes.
Which is in the starting. So in that example also, you have seen that first the crucible was weighed empty, then it was weighed with magnesium, then it is weighed with magnesium oxide, the product. Okay, so it's same like that. Okay, so this is the diagram. Hydrogen was placed through the tube for 15 seconds before the escaping gas was lit. Mm, escaping gas is hydrogen. Okay, so hydrogen enters into the test tube, it reduces copper, okay, and the extra hydrogen, it just gets out, it goes out. Okay, so escaping gas is the same, hydrogen gas. The tube was heated for a few minutes. The apparatus was then allowed to cool with hydrogen still passing through. The tube was reweighed. The process was repeated until there was no further change in mass. The questions are: number one, where is the most suitable place to clamp the tube? Means the capillary tube. What is the suitable place? Means to clamp means to fix. Okay, there are two tubes in this experiment. There is a test tube in which the experiment is going on, and then there is a capillary tube, a thin tube which we attached with the test tube to induce hydrogen in it. Okay, for the entry of hydrogen. So the question is that which place is suitable for the capillary tube, to fix the capillary tube? So obviously it's the neck of the test tube here, okay, which I circle in black. So this place is suitable because obviously test tube is closed from all the sides. It's open only from the neck. Okay, so this is the suitable place to fix it. We fix the cork, okay, and the cork, it has a hole in it, and we place the capillary tube from it. Okay, and then hydrogen will enter from that tube, hydrogen gas. Boys, are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, why was the hydrogen passed through for 15 seconds before the gas was lit? Means hydrogen is, we induce the hydrogen, we allow hydrogen to enter into the test tube and it keeps on moving. Means we keep on passing the hydrogen gas. Okay, when the gas was lit, means when it is escaping, still we are passing the hydrogen gas. Why? Hmm? The answer is written on the screen, so you can say, don't worry. No issues, you can see from the screen and tell me.
To remove oxygen.
To remove the oxygen, because hydrogen gas, we are inducing hydrogen gas into it to reduce copper oxide. Okay, reduction is removal of oxygen. Okay, removal of oxygen is reduction. So we are reducing copper oxide, it means that we are reducing oxygen from it, we are removing oxygen from it. Okay, so that is why we are passing hydrogen, because hydrogen gas will come and take oxygen with it. Okay, and we will be left with only copper metal. So that's why we are passing hydrogen, okay, to remove oxygen, all the oxygen. Why was it necessary to repeat the process until there was no further change in mass? Until there is no further change, why we are repeating the process?
Sir, to make sure the reaction is complete.
Yeah, to make sure that the reaction is complete. This is the answer, because we know that when the chemical reaction is going on, then the mass changes continuously. Mass of the reactant also changes and mass of the product also changes. The mass of the reactant decreases over time and the mass of the product increases over time. Okay, the product, because the product is forming, so it's increasing, and the reactant is reacting and it's being used up. So the reactant decreases in mass. Okay, so the mass continuously changes when the chemical reaction is going on. So when there is no further change in mass, when the mass does not change, it means that the reaction is complete. Okay, so we repeat the process until there is no further change. Why? To make sure that the reaction is complete, means to make sure that all the copper oxide has been reduced. Okay, then part B is, okay, part B is the same as the crucible one. Okay, first of all, you have to complete these blanks. Mass of empty tube is already written 46.12, mass of empty tube. Okay, then the mass of tube plus copper oxide means the reactant. Okay, copper oxide is the very thin. Let me make it very thin.
Ma'am, so we will do 47.72 minus 46.12. So
Yes, to find out the mass of copper oxide. Okay, we will minus
ma'am,
the
the answer
empty
is
tube mass.
1.60 grams.
Very good. Then the mass of tube plus copper is given to us. Copper is the product, which is 47.40. So we can take out the mass of copper from it by minusing the empty tube mass. And the answer is?
1.28.
Yeah, 1.28. Good. This is the mass of copper. Now we have the mass of copper oxide and we have the mass of copper also. Can we take out the mass of oxygen from it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, F is the mass of oxygen. How we will take out the mass of oxygen?
We'll minus 1.6 and minus 1.28.
1.60 minus 1.28 means we will take copper oxide mass and we will minus the mass of copper from it. Okay, means we are taking out copper from the equation from the copper oxide and we will be left with only oxygen. So oxygen mass is 0.32. Now we have the mass of all the three things. Okay, next the question is number 2. Number 1 is copy out and complete the results in the table above. It's related to the above table, okay, which we already completed. Number 2 is how many moles of copper atoms are involved in the reaction. Now we'll use the same formula. The question is how many moles of copper. They're asking us about the moles. The mass we already know. We took out the mass of copper 1.28. Okay, so we will use the formula of moles. Moles is equal to mass over molar mass. We'll substitute the value of mass 1.28 divided by the molar mass of copper 64. It is given to you in the question. Okay, so 1.28 divided by 64, it's 0.02. It's written in pink. Okay, the mass of copper. Sorry, moles of copper. Okay, because we just took out the moles. And in number 3, question number 3, how many moles of oxygen atoms are involved? Same question they're asking you about. Yeah, they're asking you about oxygen moles. So same formula you will use. Substitute the value of mass of oxygen, which we calculated 0.32 divided by the mass of oxygen 16, molar mass of oxygen. Okay, 0.32 divided by 16 is 0.02. Means you can see that copper and oxygen, both moles are same. Okay, after calculation also we can we saw that it's same. Okay. Now from the results of the experiment, how many moles of oxygen atoms have combined with 1 mole of copper atoms?
1 mole of oxygen atom combined with 1 mole of copper.
Yeah, because above we saw that 0.02 copper and oxygen is also 0.02, means same moles. So if 0.02 copper is reacting with 0.02 of oxygen, then 1 mole will also react with 1. Okay, 1. So number of moles of oxygen are also 1. Okay, so you have to consider the ratio of the two things. Okay, and then take out the number of moles substance. From the results of the experiment, what is the formula of copper oxide? It's the empirical formula. Okay. Do you remember how to take out the empirical formula?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So if we, so when we take the ratio of the moles, 0.02 ratio 0.02. So we will, to convert it into whole number, we divided by which number?
Ma'am, the smallest one
Smallest
out
number.
of the two.
Very good. The smallest number. We divided by the smallest number. Good. So, and here the smallest number for both of them is 0.02 is the same. So we divide both of number of moles by 0.02. After simplification, we got 1:1, and the formula is CuO. Okay, copper oxide. Now write the word equation for the reaction. Very simple, using the calculated formula. Write a full balanced equation for the reaction. So you have to write word equation and symbol equation both for the reaction. Okay, and it is this. Copper oxide plus hydrogen gives copper plus water. Okay, and you can write it in word. This is word equation. Okay, so this was the big question. Okay, and on your OneNote, inshallah, this weekend I will in content library. Okay, I will make a section of chemistry of my section of chemistry. Okay, in your content library, and I will upload my lectures of all the 4 or 5 weeks, like these 5 weeks, previous 5 weeks. Okay, although I didn't teach you in first 4 weeks, but I will upload the notes which I made in my classes. Okay, in girls classes. So I will upload all the notes. So maybe those notes will help you. Okay, because in those notes, like this, I explained this numerical to you, the question. So I explained the previous questions also. So if you want help in previous questions, you can see those notes. Okay, so inshallah they'll help you. Okay, the next is, okay, boys, do you have any question in this question?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No problem. Why only 2 boys are speaking? What about the other
No,
boys?
ma'am, no problem.
No, ma'am, no problem. Ma'am, no
Okay.
problem.
Okay, good. Next is topic 6.4. Okay, let's come to this topic. This topic is of 1 page, a very small topic related to volume of gas. I'll give you the introduction of it, and if the time will be left, then we'll discuss the footbridge also. Okay, now this
Ma'am?
one.
Ma'am, we have done this topic with sir.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Oh,
what about
Yes,
this
ma'am.
example? 6.8 example?
No,
No,
ma'am.
No,
not-
ma'am, no example. We haven't done any example.
Okay, so the example you have to do. Okay. Okay, so molar volume, you know about the molar volume, the formula and everything, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just write it here or just ask you few questions. What are the 3 states of matter?
Solid, liquid,
This
gas.
is, yeah, very bachon wala question, I know, but okay, solid,
Liquid.
liquid, yeah, and gas. Okay, I will just revise it very quickly. Okay, for solid and liquid, to measure the amount, okay, because here we are studying moles, and mole is the unit to measure the amount of a substance. Okay, amount of a substance. So for solid and liquid, we will consider its mass, but for gases, we cannot consider the mass.
Volume.
Why?
Volume.
Why we don't consider the mass for gases?
Because the particles are far away from each other.
Yeah, particles are very far, their mass is almost negligible, so we consider the volume. Okay, then for the when we are taking the mass, then what will be the formula of moles?
Moles is equal to mass over molar mass.
Sorry.
Yes, mass over molar mass. Very good. And when we are consider the volume for gases, then moles will
Mass
be
is
equal to
equal to
Volume
volume
over
over volume over volume over
Very-
molar volume.
very good. Volume over molar volume. Okay, and this mass will be given to you, or you have to find out what is the molar volume of 1 mole.
Rm.
Yes, it's RAM or RFM. Okay, if it is an atom or an element, single element, then we will use RAM. And if it is a compound or a molecule, then we will consider its RFM. So molar mass is equal to RM or RFM. And molar volume is equal to?
24 decimeter
24
cube.
decimeter cube.
Very good, 24 decimeter cube. Okay, so you know this thing. And 1 decimeter cube is equal to how many
One bar.
centimeters?
1000.
Yeah, 1000 centimeter cube. Okay, so sometimes the value is also given to us in centimeter cubes, then we have to convert it into decimeter. Okay, because the final answer, we have to give the final answer in decimeter cubes. Okay, decimeter cube, that's why we will convert it. Okay, so the formula of moles is written, everything, magic triangle, you have done everything. So let's just discuss this example. Okay, example 6.8 is again detailed question like 6.6. I explained you example 6.6 also from the footbridge. Similarly, example 6.8 is also related to another footbridge which is present in your book on page, what is this, page 167. Okay, so open your books or you can see the screen, page 167. Figure 6.15, another footbridge. Okay, the second one, and all footbridges are related to each other, that I will tell you in the end. Okay, in the last topic when we will about to do the last question, question 6.110, then I will tell you the summary or the collection of all the footbridges, they are related to each other. Okay, so the second footbridge is that volume of one gas will be given to you. Okay, volume of a gas may or volume of the reactant will be given. Okay, volume of the reactant will be given to you, and the first step will be to find the moles of that reactant. Okay, from the volume which is given to you, find the moles, and you will use the same formula, moles is equal to volume divided by molar volume. Okay, we will use this formula to find the number of moles when the volume is given to us. And then we will do the second step. When we have the moles of the reactant, we will find the moles of the product by taking the ratio from the equation, ratio of reactants and products. Okay, so whatever first we have the moles of the reactants. So we will see that this much moles, the moles which we took out, how many product it will give, how many moles of the product it will give. Okay, so so from this step we will find the moles of the product. So when we have the moles of the product, then we can easily find the last thing, which is the volume of the product. Okay, so if the volume, if the product is, if the product of the equation, because sometimes it happens that the reaction is starting from a gas, but in the end, in the product, we will not get the gas, we will get any solid or liquid substance. Okay, so in product, if it is a gas, if product is a gas, then we will find we can find the volume of it from moles. Okay, and if the product is solid or liquid, then we can find its mass. Okay, and we have the same formula, moles equal to volume over molar volume. Okay, we can just rearrange this formula to find the volume of it. Okay, when we have the moles, so we will consider this footbridge, the second footbridge, and let's solve this question. Yeah. Okay, now see. Okay, see, according to that footbridge, I told you that volume of the reactant is given to you, but here the reactant is sulfur and sulfur is solid. Okay, so for the solid, the mass will be given to you. So we will convert the mass into moles. Okay, the first step, in short, the first step is whatever thing is given to you, convert it into moles. Okay, this will be your first step in every footbridge. Okay, in first footbridge also, in the second footbridge also, and in third one also, which we will study in the next class. Okay, so in all the footbridges, the first step is to convert that substance into moles. Okay, and the second step is the thing which is asked from you, convert that substance into moles. Okay, find its moles from the ratio. So first, if 8 grams of sulfur are burnt, what volume of sulfur dioxide is produced? Okay, so see, the equation will be if sulfur is burned. Okay, sulfur is burned, so burning always takes place in the presence of oxygen. Sulfur plus oxygen, O2, gives sulfur dioxide gas. Okay, so see here, sulfur is solid, but it is giving a gas. Okay, and so it is a solid, so instead of volume given, they give us mass of sulfur. Okay, and we have to find out the volume of sulfur dioxide. What will be the first step to find the volume?
Find the moles.
Yes, finding the moles of
Sulfur
Sulfur.
and
Hmm.
oxygen.
No, not oxygen, only sulfur. Okay, because we don't need oxygen. Here we are concerned with only sulfur and sulfur dioxide. Okay, so sulfur is given to us 8 grams. We can find its mole. Moles of sulfur is equal to, formula is mass divided by molar mass. Okay, mass is given to us 8 and the molar mass of sulfur is 32.
32.
Yeah. Okay, the
0.25.
answer is
0.25.
0.25.
very good, 0.25 moles of sulfur. Now, what's the second step?
Ratio.
Finding,
Ratio.
yeah, taking
Finding
ratio.
moles of product.
Yeah, finding the moles of the product or whatever substance is asked. Okay, if for example, like if in any question, it can happen that instead of the sulfur dioxide, they asked us about the volume of oxygen. That find the volume of oxygen. Then in that case, we will take the ratio of sulfur and oxygen. Okay, but they have asked us sulfur dioxide, so we will take the ratio of sulfur and sulfur dioxide. Sulfur ratio sulfur dioxide according to the equation, it's the balanced equation. So according to the equation, we know that 1 mole of sulfur is giving 1 mole of sulfur dioxide. So 0.25 moles of sulfur will give how much?
0.25.
Yeah,
Moles of-
same. Very good. Okay, same moles of sulfur dioxide will be produced. So now we have the moles of sulfur dioxide, second step.
चैट नहीं कर रहा हूँ.
What? No, he's studying. He's not doing
Turn your
chatting. Yeah. Turn off your mic. Okay. Number 3. Now we have the moles of sulfur dioxide. Can we find the volume of sulfur dioxide then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Formula?
Mole multiplied by
Mole multiplied by molar volume.
mole volume.
Okay, this is the formula of moles. And to find the volume, we'll take moles on the other side. So it will be moles multiplied by molar volume. Okay, so to find the
6
volume, moles 0.25 multiplied by, what is the molar volume?
24.
24.
Very good. So the answer is,
6
6.
centimeter cube.
yeah, 6 decimeter cube. So we got the answer. Okay, you need to understand these food bridges for the past paper questions also. They're really helpful. Okay, so is this question done? Any confusion?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay, then we have topic 6.5. Should I start that topic or next time?
Ma'am, 1 minute is left.
1 minute is left.
Yeah, 1 minute is left. Okay, so 6.5, inshallah, I'll start because 6.5 topic, it will need only 2 classes. Okay, so one of the lecture will be tomorrow and one lecture next week. Okay, so and then next week,
Ma'am,
inshallah, in first period, I'll
Ma'am,
talk
we
about
have
the chapter.
period. What 6.5 is volume and concentration?
Yeah, volume and concentration. The solution one, yes. So it will take 2 classes. Okay, and for the end of chapter questions also, I will send you the video. Okay, like like for the worksheets, because we
Ma'am,
have to practice past papers. Yeah.
Ma'am, this chapter came in grade 9 first term.
In grade 9 first term, yes, because the previous grade 8, because of that the school closure and coronavirus everything, that's why we excluded this chapter from grade 8 last year. So they studied this chapter in first term. Otherwise, this most chapter is basically of grade 8, but we excluded it last time because of a shortage of time. That's why.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz, ma'am.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.
Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.